What's up, guys? It is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't really care much, kind of Super Bowl what, but we got our first one going down on our kind of series, Rust to Glory. Since we've got big dog Duramax swap on the road, a couple minor little issues now, but everything's sorted out, ripping. Gonna get going on our 84 Wagoneer. So I bought this rig down in Twin Falls. It was on 28-inch studded tires, little steely wheels. And they were using it as a snow plow. She's got a little rust. She ain't the dirty or the cleanest. I've always wanted one of these trucks. 84, first year of the Grand Wagoneer in all her glory. So it was down in Twin Falls. Like I said, they were using it as a snow plow. It's got 108 or so thousand original miles. It was pretty original when I got it. Tiny little studded tires for the snow. Had a plow on the front. I had them take it off. Message to do on Marketplace, of course, and lowballed him. And he said, "Give me $100 more than my lowball, and he'll deliver it." So there it was. I've had the truck little over a year now. It's been great. I had a WJ Grand Cherokee that was okay. That was my daily. Once I got this, sorted a couple things out, did a tune-up on it, cleaned the carb out. She went to daily duty, and it's been good. I did do a 4-inch spring lift, metric 33s on 17-inch methods, put just Bilstein, where those 5150 series, I think, shocks, or 51, they might just be regular 1500s, I can't remember, through little LED Amazon pods, LED headlights, tail lights. I threw a stereo in it, or at least just a head unit, so I could have CarPlay. Just did a single DIN touch screen. I love having my CarPlay in my stuff, so that was why. It's a little crusty. Take a better look. It's a little crusty. Rust here and there, a little crusty underneath. Needs the quarter patches, which is kind of common on these things. But it really hasn't needed a whole lot. I got the AC working, did like a fuel pump and a fan clutch and a couple other things. Really hasn't been too bad. You can see it's not all that terrible. The frame's a little crusty in spots. I'm gonna clean everything and use some rust neutralizer and try and get that to stop. The heat shields are a little rotted, but we are getting started yanking all this stuff out because five trace going in it, and the 4L80 that came out of the truck. I was gonna put the 4L80 with the 261 HD floor shift case in my 1950 Willis, but that project isn't gonna get started for a little while. So I have it. I know it works good. I'm gonna throw it in here with this because reliable. Yeah, well, I want to make this thing like it needs, just like everything old, an overdrive transmission. I'm not going to stuff an overdrive in it with this leaking turd of a 360 that's in it. And everyone knows, if you've driven one of these or any, 80s Dodge, it was a gutless wonder. Almost not as bad as, or almost as bad. No, almost as bad as the big block that was in the truck, the 83. Even with fuel injection and overdrive, but this thing is still pretty gutless. It leaks everywhere. It needs a water pump now. It's tired. The carb needs to be redone. It's not worth saving it. And I found this 5.3 locally. It's got 170 on it. It was in a running 04 Z71 Tahoe. The old man bought the truck for his wife. She didn't like it, so he said, oh, nobody's gonna want this thing, and just parted the truck out. And it was super nice. I saw the truck. I would have bought it for a couple grand. Like, it was a really nice truck, but he just said, nope, he didn't think anyone would want the truck with those miles. So he parted it. That's where I got this thing. I got it for $300. We are do a quickie little refresh. I'm gonna clean it, paint it, do full reseal, BTR truck stage 2 cam, new cam plate, new billet, or just, better timing chain, valve springs, just a quickie refresh on it, springs and seals, all the seals. I don't want this thing to leak. I do have a TBSS intake manifold for it, just some shorty Holley style aftermarket manifolds. Yeah, it should be a little over 400 horse, which should be more than enough for this thing. I went with the BTR Stage 2 because it showed the best under the curve gains, and I didn't want to do a converter, and I wanted to, it's out, you might as well cam it. I didn't really particularly care about camming it just for chopping everything, but I wanted the power. 5.3s are a little gutless. Granted, it's like probably 3-4 times the power that this motor has, and with the 480 it'll be a lot better, but figured I'd do that while it's out. But yeah, we are getting going. Drive shafts are out. Crap exhaust and cat that was falling apart is out. Getting everything, all the linkages and stuff disconnected so we can get the trans and the transfer case out, and then move up top, disconnect everything, pop the hood off, yank the motor out, and then I can get the motor mounts off and clean and neutralize the frame rails and just paint everything, give it a quickie little cleanup, get the motor cleaned up and thrown together, cammed and resealed, and then in the next week or so get that tossed in and start getting this thing going. The Duramax took just doing it like Friday afternoons and Saturdays 2.5 months. Granted, that's a lot more involved. I'm trying to do this one on the cheap, on the budget. That's why I'm reusing the 480, because I know it was a good working trans. Cheapy China manifolds, cheap engine. I splurged a little on the cam, but I figured if I was going to do it, I wasn't going to half-ass that one. So splurged a little on the cam, but it wasn't too bad. Cam, valve springs, push rods. But like Amazon gasket kit. Yeah, we're just trying to do this one on the super cheap. Got the house I'm working on and baby on the way, and I got my Harleys that I need to get going on, and I've got a hardtail Harley frame you'll probably see. It's a Palco frame. I want to get building that. I have a ton of stuff going on, needless to say, but yeah, so we're gonna get cracking on this thing, and yeah, get this thing ripped apart. All right, back with the Jeep. We are getting the motor and powertrain out this weekend. It's Valentine's Day weekend. I don't have a long day tomorrow, so cut the day short a little bit so I can get the trans and stuff out tomorrow morning. Guy Mike is gonna help me come get the hood off, yank the motor out, get this thing clean a little bit. I got some rust converter spray on the frame rails, get the old motor mount pedestals off, get the new ones, make sure they fit. If they fit, I'll throw them in the oven, powder them, get those ready to go. That way I can start getting the 5.3 clean this week, get the cam in it, get all the seals changed, get that all refreshed. Next weekend, boom, plop the 5.3 in it, 4080, get the cross member mounted, get that all set. So yeah, that's, we're cranking, we're rocking and rolling. Junk old 727, get this thing out of here. Just, I mean, look at that. I haven't even run this thing and it's still just dripping. Just pushed it back in here. So we're gonna get this puppy out, a couple bolts, get the trans jack under here. I think I've got all the cables unhooked, fuel lines, vent line. A little crusty, but you know, we're this thing was cheap. We're balling on a budget here with this guy. The old Duramax swap took a lot, so we're doing this one cheap. Just cheap, get it going, get it reliable, start wheeling it, get using it back to daily use. Yeah, cranking away. Let's get this tranny out. All right, well, turd is out. Turd one at least. Well, 1 and a 2. Junk transmission, 727. I don't know. I forget what those transfer cases are. It's all-wheel drive case. Vacuum operated garbage. Out. Junk. I mean, it worked okay enough. A little soggy and soft, but they worked fine. It did its job for 110,000 miles, and what is this, 80, 90, 94, 04, 14, 24, 40, 42 years ish, something about that. 41 and change, 40. Yeah, so take the motor out in the morning, get the hood off, get the engine out, start stripping all that crap out of there that we don't need. Get the frame rails a little cleaner, get the mounts off, throw some of the rust neutralizer on it, help some of this out a little bit since she's a crusty gal. But got that done for today. Tomorrow morning I yank this guy out, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. And next week we'll get the 5.3 cleaned up, cam swap, valve string swapped, all freshened up. Probably throw a little paint on her, new seals, oil pump, timing chain, all that good stuff. Get that thing ready next week, so next weekend, boop, we can plop her in, and then throw the 4L80 in it, and start doing fuel system, plumbing, wiring. Yeah, get this thing going on the road again. A couple weeks, see if we can do it, make it happen. 71 572 big block Chevelle, brand new Denali, or not brand new, sorry, it's an 18. We just put a brand new L8P 525 horse crate motor in it. The Chevelle, we're doing a bunch of oil leaks, line lock, a couple other miscellaneous things. Thing is rowdy though. All right, we're back. Time to get the motor out, yank that garbage out of there, get the new hotness in. Let's see. Yanked the battery, pulled the radiator. Also sticking with cheap is good. That's a $200 unit from Amazon. Works fine. No leaks. Not bad. With the LS, gonna have to move some stuff around and or make some new tubes. We'll see what I want to do once the motor's in and everything. But yeah, start yanking all this garbaggio out of here. Your water pump shouldn't do that. Yeah, start tearing her apart. Get this thing out of here. Junk! Home. It's coming. Say bye-bye. And she's out. The old junk. Bye-bye. She is out. Not bad. Little crusties, I mean, as the rest of the truck has, but really not bad. So clean all that stuff up, get rid of that, clean those hoses up, get rid of the cruise control, get rid of the ignition module, the vacuum, all that. So simple, basic cleanups, but we'll paint the frame, get the motor mounts changed, get all this cleaned up this week a little bit, changed out, and pow.